brother.
All right, welcome everybody to Agent Mastermind call. Today is, wow, what is today? Is today the 18th of December already? We got Christmas right around the corner, and as Scotty mentioned, and we'll get it on the recording, this is the last Agent Mastermind of the year. The next class, the next time we'll be getting together is what, Scotty, January 8th?
January 8th, man. And
wow.
Here's the crazy thing. I'm crossing my fingers right now. I was summoned to jury duty. So everybody cross their fingers. I'm trying to get out of it. But, yeah, January 8th, there will be a class some way, somehow. If I'm doing it from court, I will be on the class, okay?
Awesome. Well, I may get the keys to the Ferrari that day. That's exciting news. Guys and girls, welcome to the Agent Mastermind class. We're not here to talk about some banter. Today we have got I'm super excited about today's guest because, you know, Pinterest is one of the things that I don't know a whole lot about because I don't get into it very much. And so Rebecca Radis is going to share with us her knowledge on Pinterest and how to engage people and grow your business on Pinterest. So Rebecca, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much. Like I said, thrilled to be here.
Excellent. So,
we're excited to have you for sure.
So, you know, you covered this before we started the recording, but you're going to cover 7 ways to build your business, as you see on the screen there. I think one of the biggest things, and you're going to probably address this, is, I mean, this thing's growing out of control, and you may cover this, but I thought I'd jump ahead and say, you know, the biggest thing I hear from most of my realtor partners is like, one more thing. You know, which one do I pick? Do I pick all of them? Do I pick, you know, and I've talked to you a little bit about how you're going to share with us why this one is so important in so many different ways, and it looks like 7 different ways. So I'm going to sit back, interact with you, and just answer any questions that come through. For house cleaning, can we just verify really quick that everybody can hear us okay? So we get a couple of ahas there, and they can see the screen. And yep, okay, cool. So we are good to go. Rebecca, again, thank you so much for joining us. What do you have for us today?
Well, and Scott, just before we dive in, I did add some information about the handout. Do you want to tell them where that's going to be and where they can join us?
Yeah, so if you want to go, is this where it is? Oh, yeah, so if you're here for the first time and have not joined us, again, I'm Scott Hutzbeth with Agent Mastermind. We do a live class every single week. And you can always get the invite from the loan officer that sent you here. But if you want to join us, hang out. We're at 800 strong. So it's facebook.com/group/agent mastermind. So if you go there, we'll let you in. It's just a great place to ask questions. The best part about this is if you have a question, your whole database doesn't need to know about it. You can ask it, and only the people in the group hear and see your questions. And then you get to work with your other people in the industry that are masters at some of this stuff. So I appreciate bringing that up. And we also have a free gift for you for everybody at the end of the class. We're going to give away this 7 ways to boost your business with Pinterest compliments of Rebecca. So I appreciate you giving us that. We'll give you the link at the end of the class.
Definitely, and I would just say that there's no need for everybody to frantically scribble any notes that we're going to talk about here today because everything is right there within that handout, Scotty, that you're going to be offering on that group.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Well, let me just take a quick moment to introduce myself, Rebecca, and I'll just correct you guys, it's Radis, but everybody makes the same mistake on the pronounce. Oh no. I get Radis, I get Radish, I get, you know, you name it. But just to give you a little bit of background on me, I have been in the mortgage and real estate industry for 18 years now, going on 19 years, oh my goodness, next year. Yeah, and mostly on it started on the sales side, but really transitioned into the marketing side, and am now managing social media on a day-to-day basis. I manage all of the corporate accounts for Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate, so from a national level. I am creating all of the content on all of our social channels, so from Facebook to Twitter, to LinkedIn, to Pinterest, of course, and then our blog as well. So as I talk about ways to boost your business with Pinterest, just know that these are things that I am doing within my own business, that I am doing for others on a day-to-day basis, and really believe that there is value in in Pinterest and really diving into it wholeheartedly in 2013 as just another pillar of your overall marketing plan. So as we talk about that today, what you're going to learn, we're going to talk about creative ways, how to effectively use Pinterest, like I said, to build a business presence, how to drive traffic to your website, increase your SEO. That is a big, big benefit of Pinterest. And then how to improve your social media marketing all the way around. So really how to integrate Pinterest into what you're already doing. Scotty talked a little bit about, where should I be? Where should I place my focus? Is it Facebook? Is it Twitter? And I know that's a huge question. So I'm hoping that we can get away from some of the myths too today, maybe dispel some of those, that Pinterest is a huge time suck, an enormous time waster, and how you can strategically get in, get out, and move on with your day and really use it in a beneficial way.
Well, I got to tell you, Rebecca, that I've been following you, and I would recommend following Rebecca because it's pretty amazing how you get to know somebody through social media, and I've been following you for quite a while. Not stalking you, just following you. So I just got to say that you do a lot of really cool things to let people into your life and let them know who you are, and I've seen your work that you're doing with Better Homes and Garden Real Estate, so I would highly recommend following her to just kind of get a feel for how, I like to surround myself with people that know what they're doing in social media, and of course you're one of them. So I would just find those people that you can follow and follow them closely, and then your mind will start to shift and go, oh, okay, I get that. I understand why she did that. And so as we go on with this presentation, kind of just let your mind go and just let it come in and take whatever it is that you want to and implement it in 2013, make it part of your plan.
Yeah, I would completely 100% agree with that, just in terms of following those people that you really respect, whether it's in the industry or outside of it. Maybe it's just a niche that you like personally. If they're doing social media well, it is such an enormous benefit to just spend a little bit of time every single day seeing how they interact with other people, seeing how they engage other people, the kind of content they share, how they let people in, like you said, on a personal level, because so many people are very fearful of that. They're very afraid of how much information do I share about my personal life and how much do I put out there, especially if I'm using social media for business. And so I love that suggestion. It's excellent. It's really how I got started, especially with Twitter. So let's talk a little bit about Pinterest and its gigantic growth. I think you've been living under a rock if you haven't heard about Pinterest and how much it's taken off over the last couple of years. Just an unprecedented growth amongst social media channels. 4,377% is what it has grown since May of 2011. And while there is a lot of talk that the majority of that is females, that is really shifting. And businesses are really figuring out how to make this social media channel work to their benefit. So as you can see, if you think about Facebook as that social media giant, Pinterest is definitely looming out there, nipping at its heels, and a great place for you to be from a visual aspect. So what is Pinterest? It's definitely a few different things. First of all, it's a virtual pinboard. So think of it as a place where if you're out curating content, so you're out reading content on a daily basis, you're thinking, I'm going to share this with maybe my followers on Twitter or my fans on Facebook, or it's just simply for you to read. It's a great place for you to be able to capture those links or those images and quickly and easily be able to come back and reference those. It's also a bookmarking site. It's definitely a dream catcher, as we have seen so many people building their perfect wedding, their perfect travel or vacation location. So again, a great place to be able to capture those thoughts, those dreams, maybe those gifts. Perfect time of the year to start capturing ideas or gifts for that special someone within your life, and you're able to share those with anybody that is following you on Pinterest. And then it's also a social collaboration platform. So it's all of that rolled into one. So a lot of ability that we're going to talk about here today that Pinterest gives you. Now, at the end of the day, of course, it is a social site, very similar to any other social network. You can follow other users, you can share their content, you can like their content, you can tag users. So a lot of similarities between Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. Of course, Google+, very similar. So don't let Pinterest scare you into believing that it's this whole other animal, because while it certainly has its differences, it's more alike all the other social sites than you would like to believe. So the transition really should not be that difficult. If you're making it from Facebook or making it from Twitter, there's a lot of similarities between the hashtags, the liking, and the different ways that you can really use it to get in front of people. So let's dive into my 7 tips of how you can use Pinterest to actively engage, to really get yourself in front of some new eyeballs, and start using Pinterest in 2013 as a very strategic part of your social media marketing plan. First and foremost, sharing your content. This should be a pretty simple one as you're out across the web and on your social sites. If you are a blogger or you're creating videos or maybe an ebook, and especially for realtors, your listings, I know that's always a top thought on how to use Pinterest, is pinning those listings, answers to buyers and sellers. So there's a lot of different ways you can utilize the content that you've been creating for years, and I guarantee you, if you stop and think about all of the content that you have created, whether it is those blog articles, whether it's just content on your website, those videos that you have on YouTube, whatever that content might be, all of that is pinnable. And that means that all of that can be housed right there on your account on Pinterest. And there's a lot of reasons behind why you would want to start sharing that content, not just on Facebook, not just on Twitter, not just on YouTube, but on Pinterest as well. So first of all, when you pin an article from your website, you're basically creating a link back to that particular article. So there's a lot of talk about concerns of copyrights, but if you're pinning that way, you're actually giving attribution directly to the source of that article. So let's say you wrote a blog yesterday, you decide you want to pin that, meaning you're going to grab an image from that article and pin it to your Pinterest account. What's going to happen when one of your followers goes to click on that particular article is it's going to direct them right back to your blog or your website. So that's where that SEO value really starts to come in that I was talking about, and will start to drive more people back to either your blog or your website or those other social properties, really expanding your reach. Because after all, social media is definitely there to assist in promoting all of your other activities out there that you're doing. So whether it is those listings, whether you're writing articles about the top mistakes that buyers make, whatever those are, start thinking about where is that content, where is it now out on the web, and how can I pin all of that to my boards on Pinterest. And we're going to talk a little bit about boards because that can be a little confusing for some people just getting started with Pinterest as well.
Absolutely. So a couple things that I want to clarify that you've talked about, and a couple people ask about SEO. They said, what is SEO? SEO is search engine optimization. We call it like Google Juice, like putting content out there, building your brand so that when people search for you or search a subject, that you have a better chance of coming up. So we call it organic SEO, putting content out there that people might search for. The other thing that I want to cover that is so important here is with Pinterest and being able to literally pin different articles, pin different blog posts, pin different pictures, it's just changing what you're already doing. Everybody right now on this call, I'm guessing, takes pictures, they read articles, and if you think that that article is good, why not share it with the world, but share it in a way that it's on your Pinterest board so people can follow you. And if you put up free, cool stuff, really good stuff that people go, man, there's some really good content here. For example, here's a little stat for you, Rebecca. I was looking at my YouTube views, and I looked at the #1 viewed video that I had just recently, and it was me posting, sharing something about this $3,000 Michigan grant that people are talking about. And I think it's just in Michigan right now, and I'm sure it's going to be spread to other states, but I had more views on that than anything else. So they deemed that as important. So people still want to know what's out there and what's going on and different ways to save on my mortgage or buy a foreclosure, buy a short sale. People still want to know about that, and Pinterest is a great way to do it. So instead of grabbing an article from Homes, Better Homes and Garden that Rebecca writes on, pin it to your board, which is still hers, but then share that link to your sphere of influence, if you will, in an email, a Facebook post, or something like that. Now they come and visit you on your Pinterest board, and they have a chance to share it, chance to follow you, chance to repin it, whatever it is. So it's just really changing your mindset of what you're already doing to include your social media sites, and I hope that makes sense.
No, it absolutely does. It's basically making sure that no matter where you're at, you're promoting that on your other social channels or just within your traditional marketing. There's just so many different ways that you can get the word out there about your boards. And I'll talk a little bit about what you touched on with the SEO. My second tip is creating unique boards, and part of that search engine optimization and the organic way that people can find you on Pinterest is through the topics and the titles that you give your boards. So when I talk about boards on Pinterest, think of those as content buckets. And as you're starting to set up your Pinterest account, you are going to create boards or those content buckets. So what is the information that your followers, your fans, anybody that wants to connect with you on Pinterest, what are they craving? What are they looking for? And Scotty just really touched on that. You know, is it local information? Maybe it's information about vendors that you work with. Maybe it's tips on your community. Maybe recommendations on your favorite restaurants or your favorite parks. Just different information about that local community. Maybe it's free area attractions, home decor and design ideas, staging ideas. There's just a million different ways or directions you can go with these content buckets. So a big recommendation as you're getting started, and if you've already started, it's very easy to fix some of your titles and make sure that you're grouping all of that information into categories that are very specific. So whether it's tips for home buyers, whether it's tips for sellers, whether it's, like I said, those mistakes that home buyers make, whatever it might be, create your board so that your categories are very, very specific and that content is very easy for people to find. But always keep in mind, these are, you know, this is a social site, like I said, and you want to have fun. You want to give people a reason to come back and find more great information. So don't just make it all about business. You know, have some fun with it. Pin about things that you love. For me, I love coffee, so I've got a coffee board. It's a great conversation starter, great way for people to get to know you and the real you behind your business on a day-to-day. So those creating unique boards, very specific to you. You can create as many boards as you want. They are all public. There are what are called secret boards. I'm not going to really get into those, but those are, you know, just content you're sharing with yourself, basically. But all of this is public, so as people are out there searching for you, you're just giving them more content all in one location that will drive them or direct them back to maybe another social media channel, your website, or your blog. But really start thinking about where is that content and what type of content are the people that are following me looking for.
You know, and I would
So
just, I mean, you know, just to add to that a little bit, you know, people go, okay, I don't know where to start. I don't know how to start. Well, start with yourself. That's what she just said. Like, she loves coffee. Like, everybody knows now that Rebecca loves coffee. And I'm ditto on that. I love, love, love coffee. So it's like, start a board about different coffees that you've had, where you've drank different coffees, pictures of the coffee shops. I mean, all kinds of different things. So do whatever your passion is, write a list of 10 things that really, horseback riding, fishing, movie time, you know, going to the movie and dinner, looking, like walking down the railroad tracks, whatever it is, like that should be a board. Make it very specific, and other people can relate to that and get to know you, like you, and eventually trust you and get referred. You know, they will refer you because they build that relationship with you, and they go, oh, and they can connect in that type of level.
yeah, exactly. And those are the relationship builders. Those are the conversations that you start to have on Twitter or on Facebook. And those are the fun things that begin to really build that long-term relationship that will keep things going even when you don't, you know, they're not going to be buying or selling every single day. So you may not have that content that's necessarily meeting their needs 365 days out of the year. So you do need to have those personal connectors that keep people coming back to your Pinterest boards. So for some more inspiration, since we're talking about that, you can definitely look at other industry professionals. So take a look at people maybe locally, maybe on a national level. How are they using Pinterest? How have they set up their boards? What are the names of their boards? What kind of content are they sharing? And it's very simple. On Pinterest, they have just a little search button right there up at the top left-hand corner when you log in, and you can search for anything. You can search for keywords, which I had done here. My search results, I just simply looked up real estate, which is going to give you all kinds of information. Yeah, it's going to be from people to brands. So you name it, you're going to be able to find people out there that have the same niche you do, that are doing the same exact things. Great ideas from those.
You know, and I got a lot of ideas from that. Just putting in real estate. You're going to show us that, but I mean, I've met some amazing people following their boards, and I've actually talked to them, going, man, you know, and then you also get ideas of what they are building boards on, and go, I like that. And maybe you didn't, you just forgot about it, didn't think about it at the time because of the season or whatever it is. But it helps like trigger. And don't spend like all day doing this. Like, think of, like, write down your 10 things, take 30 minutes, and then go create the boards. And then once a day for 10 minutes, go, all right, I'm going to post one new thing per day on one of my boards. And at the end of 30 days, you have 30 different things going on in a really nice, attractive board. I mean, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. You definitely do not have to put a ridiculous amount of time into this to make it work for you. Another way to find some relevant pinners is once you've identified those people within your niche that you yourself want to follow because they have really interesting content, go check out who they're following. You can see who anybody is following on Pinterest, and I gave you an example here where it's very simple to see everybody that this particular pinner is following, and then check the box. Just say, I want to follow those people as well. So just all different ideas on how, rather than trying to reinvent the wheel, you can find people out there that are doing the same exact thing that you're looking to do, and start to really craft your content, your boards, those content buckets around information that people are looking for. One person that I think does just a phenomenal job, and if you're not connected with her, find her on Twitter. She's very, very active on Twitter. It's Headings Property Group out of New York, and it's Steph Davis. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with her, Scotty, but
I'm not.
She does just a fabulous job in meshing personal and professional, in really understanding the needs of her buyers and sellers. Obviously, she's in the New York City area, and I love one of her boards here that's black and white old New York. So if you're somebody in the area, maybe you're born and raised there, you just absolutely love the area, what a fun board to be able to see some of the old-time pictures from that area. But some of the other boards she has, staging ideas and tips, tech up your home, some very cool images that she's pinned there, save on space, cover your walls in arts. And as you can see, you can be really creative, have a lot of fun, show a lot of your personality, even in these professional boards, but give people some really fun ideas as maybe they're moving into a new home. What can they do to jazz up their walls? Maybe, you know, they move into that house, the walls are all painted white, and they're wondering what in the world can they do to really add a little bit of themselves to that house. So think about those things as you're creating those boards, not necessarily what do they need right now as they're going through the process of buying that house, but what will they need as a future homeowner as well. So my third tip is using the pin it button, and this really speaks to what Scotty was talking about too, as far as grabbing all of that content out there on the web. And this is going to make your life so easy that as you are out there reading articles, as you're curating content, to quickly and easily grab that content and add it to one of your boards. So basically the pin it button is exactly that. It's going to quickly and easily allow you to pin your latest blog, videos, listings, anything that has an image can be captured and pinned to one of your boards on Pinterest. So again, just another way to simplify your social media marketing duties on a day-to-day basis is to add this, and it's right in your account. It's under the settings and then goodies tab, I believe. So very easy way for you to do that. And then one quick tip, as you are adding content, make sure that you click edit once you've pinned an item and you add your personal description. So if you've been on Pinterest, you see people that have written, you know, maybe their description, oh my gosh, I love this, or great, you know, coffee place, you got to check it out. Keep in mind that along with the direct link to your article or your video or that image, you have the ability to put some keywords in there. So not only is the title of your board useful when it comes to SEO, but it's also very, very handy for you to put in keywords in that description so that as people are using that search bar we talked about, if they're looking for real estate and you have real estate in a lot of your pins, you're going to pop up. So just keep that in mind, that you don't just necessarily want to pin it and move on. You want to make sure that the content within that description is exactly what you want it to say. So I've just given you an idea here on one of my boards where that description says the ultimate Pinterest cheat sheet from Pinterly. So somebody could be looking for a Pinterest cheat sheet. They could be looking for, you know, Pinterly, which is a Pinterest tip. So just give them a lot of different ways that as they're searching, they can find you.
Hey, Rebecca, there's Missy stated, and I want to bring this up because this is so important. She states, it excites her when someone likes her board or pins or likes one of her pins. And let me just tell you, the feeling that you get, Missy, is the same as if you go like or repin someone else's board. That's where, that's like walking into a party, shaking someone's hand and going, hey, I'm Scott, what's your name and what do you do for a living? That type of thing. It's almost like that's the social media way. Like Rebecca and I had like social hugs today. I mean, that's, it's just how the relationship starts, especially with someone local in your area. If you're in real estate and you want to let them know without saying, hey, I do real estate, you need to connect with them on different social media sites. And this is a tremendous one, being that, 80% of the people on Pinterest are women. Women are the decision makers. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on here. This is a great way to build relationships. It's just by going in, following somebody, liking one of their pins, maybe repinning it. They're going to get that same response and go, I wonder who Missy is. So think about that when you're looking to build relationships.
Well, and it's that law of reciprocity. You just hope that all comes back around, you know, that they're coming back. And Yes, they're checking out your Pinterest board. They're liking your stuff. They're sharing it, and just like that virtual hug, it's like a pat on the back. It's affirmation that you're doing a good job, that you've struck a chord. So it's also a great way to know that you're hitting the mark as far as your content is concerned, and your followers really enjoy it. So I love that point, and I love the idea of a virtual hug because it's definitely that.
It was cool. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Number 4 is add the button to your website. So Pinterest gives you a couple of different ways where you can make it really easy for readers to share your content. So just like we just made it easy for you to grab content, you want to make it just as easy for anybody that lands on your website or your blog to quickly and easily share that content with any of their followers. So the pin it and the follow me on Pinterest buttons, they can both be added very easily. Again, those are in the settings under the goodies section within Pinterest, and you can see them right here where the follow me on Pinterest just is a little snippet of code, very simple for you to grab and add. If that's not your thing, obviously something you can send over to the person that's managing that for you and ask them if they can take just a couple of minutes and add that, because again, it just gives people another way to connect with you. You have to believe that while Facebook is a giant among the social media sites, not everybody enjoys being on Facebook. Not everybody enjoys being on Twitter or Pinterest. So you want to make sure that you are meeting them where they're at and giving them the opportunity to connect with you. And this is just another great way to do that with that cross-promotion of your website and your blog. So another idea for you on how to use Pinterest is giving a sneak peek, so kind of a behind-the-scenes look into your company, your business, and that could include all different kinds of ideas, and you could turn these into boards of your own, or it could just be a behind-the-scenes of your company. And certainly there are a lot of those lurkers, voyeurs in the social media world that are really kind of just out there checking it out, want to see what you're doing, want to see what you're all about, want to know who you are before they even decide to do business with you. And giving them a sneak peek really gives them an awful lot of great information, whether it's pictures from an event or a conference, maybe a timeline that shows important dates within your business. So when did your business start, and what are all of those important dates that have transpired since then? You could put something together like that on Pinterest. Photos of the people that support your business. So maybe it's the person that answers the phones at your office that isn't out and about all the time. So people never get to meet them face to face, but they really are a huge support to your business and somebody that everybody loves. So add those support people to your boards with a little description of who they are and what they're doing. And then blogs, photos, and other items that maybe are staff favorites, staff photos. It's just a great way to share some insight about who your company is, what you're all about, and who are those people that really support it and make it go round on a daily basis. So sneak peek is just a great way.
Yeah, a couple things that you might even know her, Stacy Staub. I follow her, and she does some amazing things with Pinterest too. And she's got a board that is all her sold properties. So, which is amazing, and that SEO is huge because she's got the addresses of all the properties sold, and then she can go in there and go, here's the one, here's all the properties I've sold, here's how I sold them, here's how I'm going to help you sell yours, here's how I'm going to have your house show up on this board in Pinterest. Because that's like already, you know what I mean? It's just stuff like that. That's the mindset. It lets them see, hey, I really am a real estate agent. I'm really doing some good things for people. I'm helping them accomplish their goals and dreams. So just a thought on that.
That was going to be my exact point, which is visibility is great, but credibility is phenomenal. Yeah. And to be able to pin maybe your past clients and what they've had to say about you after the fact, or those sold properties, it definitely lends to that credibility and helps to promote you as that expert within your niche or your field or your local area. So yeah, and just a nice little transition into my number 6 tip, which is promoting those listings and really using it to drive additional traffic to your website or blog. You can add pins related to new and upcoming listings. As Scotty just said, you could pin your sold, which I just love. I mean, you think of the ideas you could do with that. You could have the family by your sign out in the front yard, depending on the time of the year and where you're located. Could be a little chilly, but you could share all kinds of different pictures.
FSBO builders, like you could have a FSBO board, builder board, foreclosure board. I mean, all kinds of whatever you specialize in and whatever you're an expert at, whatever your niche is. I mean, should be a board.
Yeah, single property websites. You could share. You could have a board that are just your single property website videos, and direct people out to those. So yeah, really the sky is the limit when it comes to Pinterest. You're only limited by your own creativity. So that's why I say, take a good hard look at all the content that you have out there, because I guarantee there's a whole lot more than you give yourself credit for. And as you are pinning those listings, I wanted to give an example just real quickly here of how to make your listing appealing. So rather than just pinning that listing and moving on, make sure that you're using an image that really encourages that sharing, because while people may not necessarily be interested in purchasing a home right this second, they might love the house that you've pinned, and that definitely helps to get that shared amongst their followers and those people's followers, and really lends to that whole idea of that pin going viral and you getting in front of a whole lot more people. So be very, very conscious of what image you're choosing when you're pinning those listings, and be very descriptive. Make sure that you're going to connect with people as they're reading through this. So I really liked this particular pin from Realtor.com. Beautiful home on one of the highest lots in Rancho Mañana. Views for miles and miles, 90% complete. Builder is just waiting for you to fill in the blanks. Nice. I don't know about you, but that's a great visual.
I want to see it just to see it. Like what? So like what I could, what? Here's another thing too, is like maybe ask the seller, say, hey, why did you buy the home? Well, what was it that drawed you to the home? Was it the area? Was it a piece of the home? Was it a part of maybe the backyard, the neighborhood, whatever it is? Find out what excited them, and I'm guessing that it might excite the next buyer too.
Absolutely. Yeah, and then always make sure that you insert a direct link. Of course, if you click on that pin, it's going to take them directly to that particular listing, but adding that direct link gives anybody that maybe wants to copy paste, hang on to that, maybe wants to forward that via email to somebody. It's just a great way for them to visually see that without having to necessarily click on it every single time. So you can see that they've done that as well right there at the bottom of that listing.
Nice.
And last but not least, this is all about tying those social properties together. So using Facebook, your Facebook page, to promote your Pinterest account. You can actually add, yes, you can actually add all of your Pinterest information to your Facebook page. So, if you're concerned that when people, they like your page, they're on your page, you don't want them to have to leave to go to Pinterest, well, they don't have to. You can add a tab right there, an application to your Facebook page, so it's very simple for them to like, share, comment on any of your pins right there within your Facebook page. And my favorite application, there are quite a few out there, and for it's just really going to take playing around with them, probably be a personal decision on your end which one you want to use, but I love WooBox, W-O-O-B-O-X.
I would 100% agree with you on WooBox. It's amazing.
Oh, it is. Just the capability is phenomenal, and the ease of use. So if you're sitting there thinking, oh, I am not tech savvy, there's no way I'm going to be able to add this, yes, you will. It's very, very simple to do. I've got a link here for you, and it's it can be a little confusing, but if you just search for WooBox, it's going to pop right up within Facebook as an application, and then it's just going to take you through the steps of adding it to your page. And then the setup, once it's done, is very easy once again. So this is basically what WooBox looks like, Pinterest tab for Facebook, just so you know when you're searching for it. This is what it is. It's going to ask you if you want to add that. You're going to go to the app. You're going to say, yes, go ahead and add that to my page. So if you manage multiple pages, you could add this to one. You could add it to all of them and get this set up very quickly and easily. Your next step as far as getting this set up is inserting your Pinterest username. So there's literally maybe 3 steps involved to get this up and running. So you're just simply going to add your username, and you can decide whether you want it to show all of your boards or just show pins from selected pin board. I would suggest to you that you want to show all of your boards, so that anybody on your Facebook page can see any of the boards you're pinning to on a daily basis. And like I said, they can just go ahead, they can share, they can comment, they can like right there within your Facebook page. And then your third step, again, is just simply deciding which boards you want to share. So very, very easy to add, but a phenomenal way for you to share your Pinterest content with your Facebook fans without them ever having to leave. And you can see right here, it's just going to show up right under your cover photo as one of your applications. And you can add just multiple applications. So if it's YouTube that you want to direct them to, if it's Twitter, you can add that Pinterest tab right along with that. So another great way for people to connect with you, and another great way for your Facebook fans to interact and engage with you on Pinterest without necessarily having to go out to Pinterest and try to track you down.
Here's a great question, and you might be going to cover this, but do you add? I'll let you answer this. Do you add this to your personal Facebook page or your business Facebook page? The Pinterest tab you're talking about.
It's your business.
Okay, your business page. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was actually for your business, and there's a couple of other really there's, as you can imagine with any social site, a million different ways to add something like this. But like we talked about, WooBox is super flexible and just very, very easy to get set up. So not going to be time consuming, and it really is a set it and forget it. Once it's set up, you're done. Everything you pin is going to be pulled in, so it's right there and accessible.
So just for correct spelling, it's WOOBOX.com. WOOBOX.com.
Perfect. All right. Well, I'm just going to wrap it up and talk a little bit about creating your Pinterest action plan. As you can see, there are just so many opportunities, so many different ways that you can use Pinterest within your business, but as with any other social media channel that you're using, you've got to make sure that they are all integrated because certainly they're only one pillar of your overall marketing strategy. So how is this going to work into what you're already doing? So whether it's online, whether it's offline, determine what are the needs and wants of your ideal client. So whether that is a buyer, that is a seller, that is a homeowner, that's past clients. Mm-hmm. Who are those people and what type of content are they looking for? Make a list of that. List out every single way you can solve those problems, solve those pain points that they're feeling on a day-to-day basis, and provide those answers to them in a very real, and I know the word authentic gets very overused in social media, but to me, it doesn't make it any less relevant. You really do want to feel as if this is an authentic version of who you are offline, whether it's Pinterest, Facebook, or Twitter, and that people feel like they know you. like they've really been given a behind-the-scenes look into your business. So creating that action plan is just an incredibly important piece of your success, and what better time than as we're moving into a new year than to sit down and start putting that business plan together and make Pinterest a part of it. Scotty said it, 10 minutes a day tops is all you should be putting towards Pinterest. Granted, people are spending a whole lot more time pinning all of their favorite stuff.
Isn't it like, I don't know if the time is more than Facebook, but it's pretty darn close.
It's got to be at this point, I'm thinking. I have not seen any recent statistics, but I just know that there are evenings where I will go in, and I use it as a huge content curation. There are evenings where I think, do these people do anything else except spend all of their time on Pinterest?
I know.
So you can definitely get lost in it, but if you're strategic in the way you use it, you've really gotten clear on who's your client, who are you speaking to on a daily basis, what is that content that they want. It's going to make it very simple for you to integrate this into that overall marketing plan and make sure that you can succeed with it in 2013.
Awesome.
And I'll leave you with one of my favorite quotes, Scotty, which is Jay Baer. And he says, focus on how to be social, not on how to do social. And I know we've talked a lot about how to do Pinterest, but really it is all about getting in there, engaging, interacting, and having fun, getting to know people, building those relationships. So before anything, I would definitely start with just finding those people that you respect, that you trust within the industry. Start to build those relationships, follow them, get to know them, and then maybe extend relationships from Facebook or from Twitter and carry those through and over to Pinterest. And as you start to get to know people, you are going to create that organic traffic, which does give you those happy endorphins that we were talking about earlier, like that virtual hug. So you're going to start to feel that momentum rather quickly.
Yeah. So question, in fact, I swiped that and put that as part of the email invite. I think you've seen it. So that's one of the best quotes that I've seen, like focus on how to be social and not do social. I mean, it's all about who you are and what you do for a living and how you live your life and your family. And I know some people are private. They don't want to do that. Well, you're going to have to compete against people that are social and building relationships and out there and growing their business. That's what you got to compete against. So I'm just saying that's where the world's going. That's where like the guys, the ladies and gentlemen growing up are using this stuff like out of control. My daughter, 17, going to be 18 soon, and she's just like all over it. And that's how they communicate. So you have to be there. I can't say enough about that. Question for you comes from Missy. A lot of great questions, Missy. Do you recommend having personal account and a professional? Like they have a business account now. Do you recommend that? Or I mean that's. I think for me, going away from the being social part, but I'll let you answer that.
Well, you know, that's a great question. And yes, they do have Pinterest business pages now. And I think it really just depends on your own business. From what I'm seeing, the majority of realtors today are using Facebook and Twitter. They're using their own personal accounts as their business account, right. Not necessarily using Facebook pages as much as they used to. So I think that's definitely going to be a decision you have to make. For me personally, I don't find that I need to separate all that out. It's just more to manage and more to juggle and more stress you're putting on yourself. Yeah, to get out there and do it well and consistently every day. So I'd start with baby steps. If you haven't done it yet, just set up a personal account and see if it's even anything you like, because like anything else, if you don't enjoy it, you're not going to keep at it.
I just went and reserved my name just in case something went crazy with it, so that's all I did.
There you go. See, that's a good idea.
Yeah, so social, here's a great one from Lou. I mean, it's just a statement. He says, social media is about globally connecting and establishing relationships, sharing opinions, and even good debate, which couldn't have said it better myself, Lou. Thank you for putting that in there. I am a social person. Missy says I'm social. Good for you. All right. Very good. This webinar is recorded. Paul, did I miss any good questions?
Yeah, there is a great question from Scott Lehman here. Missy, his question is, what happens to a pin that I pin and then is repinned and repinned again? If the fourth person clicks on it, where does the pin actually, where are they landing when a fourth person or a fifth person, for that matter, clicks on a repinned pin? Where do they land? Are they landing on the original pinner's location or on the new person who repinned its location? Where is that? What's happening there when people are repinning pins?
That is an excellent question. And first of all, I wanted to say hello to Scott, because Scott is a good friend of mine out in Scottsdale, Arizona. So thanks for being here. The beautiful part about that is that it leads back to not only you, so you as the original pinner and your content, it will show always, if it's been repinned, who it's via. So it may say that Allison pinned it, but it was via Scott. And then it will also direct back to the original source of that content. So if you pinned your blog or your website, it's still going to direct people right back to that content.
Okay, so it is directing back. Great answer on that. Robert is asking about signing up, and there were a couple of questions about signing up. When you're signing up for your Pinterest account, do you just use, my first and last name? Do I use Paul Baxter Mortgage Lender? How do you set up? Do you use a nickname or an alias?
Another fabulous question, and I would say that is really going to depend on how you're branding your business now. For me, my name is my brand. So everything is Rebecca Radice, but your brand may be your business name. So what you want to really be sure about, especially as you're setting all of these up, is that you're consistent. So if you're using your name, use your name in every social site you set up. If it's your business name, do the same exact thing, so that it's very simple. If people are Googling you, if they're searching for you anywhere online, they're finding anything that comes up under your business name or your name. And
it's always like content. It's the same, they're seeing the same. It's a reiteration of your brand each time they see it in the different platforms. That, they may find you at party A, but now they find you at party C. They're still seeing the same brand and the same name, and it's a reiteration that you're there. You're involved in all the things that they're involved in also.
And that's exactly right. Because think about how confusing it could be if I did, Rebecca Radice one place, I was R. Radice another, I was Rebecca another place. It gets a little confusing. People, are like, wait a second.
Is this the same
person?
Is
exactly. Yeah.
My opinion of that is, if you are a broker owner and you own the actual real estate company, then that's a different story. But if you're your own real estate agent, my personal opinion is it always should be you and your name. That's just because if you ever, heaven forbid, you have to leave one company and go to another, it's just no more than changing the logo. The name stays the same, the email stays the same, your Pinterest boards, everything stays the same. You don't lose 1 ounce or 1 day or 1 second of branding that you've built up over a period of time. We call it marketing equity. Whatever you put together, whatever you build, you don't want to ever have a chance of losing that, because you've branded something that isn't you personally, it's somebody else's that now you can't use because you've switched companies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really careful about that when you're doing that.
Rebecca, Scott has a really good question. It's a question that I never even really thought about when you think about it in terms of Pinterest, but it's a great question, and one that I think I don't know the answer to, and I'm hoping you do. Are you able to do a pin without an image?
Well, no, you really can't, because the whole basis of Pinterest is an image, and I can't even think of why you would want to do that, to be real honest with you.
So then you would use like infographics. So I think what Scott was trying to do, or what he's saying is, can you put like a text pin up? And the way that you'd accomplish that would be through like infographics. You'd make your text into an image, and you can paste that as an image. So kind of you can do a pin without an image, but you have to have the text you're trying to get in there be an image. So
Exactly, and there are all kinds of online applications. Quozio is one of them. Quoz, I think IO, where you could turn any quote. So think about that. Maybe you want to pull out 10 quotes from the last blog post you wrote. You could take those, paste them into something like Quozio. You pick from there maybe 20 different images. And there you have it. You have a quote that you can now pin on your boards of quotes from your blog post.
Have you
so
ever?
There's a lot of different ways you can use those.
Have you ever used redkid.com?
No, I haven't.
It's it's similar to what you're describing. I'm going to check the one out that you're mentioning because it sounds like I've got a little bit more I can add to it because Redkid is meant for just small little messages.
I think it's redkit.net, to be honest with you.
Redkit.net.
Right,
Okay.
Redkit.net is really cool where it allows you to generate image generators. It's pretty cool. Or pictures of the day or something like that, so it's a pretty cool place to go, but I would check that out.
Yeah. No, that's another great question just because there's so many different ways you can use those images. And I go one step further too just to explain. We've talked all about pinning content from the web, but you can just upload images as well. So if you have images on your desktop, on your laptop that you want to add to boards, you can go that manual route as well.
Excellent. Let's see. What else?
And it looks like Scott's got one last question I think I know the answer to this one. The question is, is it possible to pin an item from a cloud-based file like a Dropbox or a box.net? And I think the answer to that is yes. From Dropbox, at least it is.
Yeah, it really depends because a lot of them are secure sites and you will not be able to pin. But yes, I don't know that I've ever tried to pin from Dropbox, but I would sure think you could from that or box.net because you've got the ability to share.
Here's a good one for, and we'll end with this one. I appreciate you doing this. So if for pins outside your direct content, do you go back and check your pins to make sure that the links are still active? I would say that as long as you repin, they're going to be good. Or if you pin it yourself, it's going to go with whatever link that you pin it from using that toolbar that you showed us.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and as long as something doesn't change and that link isn't broken, you should never have a problem.
Could you spell that one again? You said Quozio or something like that? What was that one?
Yeah, I believe it's Quozio.
All right.
Quozio.
That is it. Yep. Make beautiful quotes. So Quozio.com. Thank you for that. That's cool.
And redkid.com was the other. And just so everybody knows, I just pinned to a board from Dropbox. I had an image in my Dropbox file, and I pinned to a board from it. So yes, it does.
That is great to know.
It does work. And I hyperlinked it to where I wanted it to get. It does all the little gizmos and tricks too, so you're good to go there. Guys, girls, please do us a favor. Please go and let Rebecca know that you appreciate her coming on and sharing, the vast knowledge of Pinterest with us. Rebecca, I'll tell you, I learned several new little tidbits today that I'm going to take into my practice and be teaching loan officers and what they should be doing to, it boils down to this. It's a social site. It's not about doing social media. It's about just being social. It's like I walked into a bar and I shook your hand. It's the same kind of deal. So thank you for sharing that with us and kind of driving that point home. That's such a huge part of it. Guys, girls, we did record this. As you know, at the beginning, Rebecca was very kind to offer the guide to the 7 steps at the beginning. All you got to do is just contact the loan professional who invited you today. They'll get you access to the recording. They'll get you access to all of the materials. And that's all I've got for today, Scotty. Great class, man. Thank you for bringing Rebecca to us.
It's amazing the people we've met and the talent that these guys have, and just Rebecca, I really sincerely appreciate you joining us and sharing your knowledge of Pinterest and sharing it with all our people here on the call. We have an amazing turnout today, and of course it was because of you, of course, because everybody wanted to hear you and hang with you for a while and get those social hugs. Of course, you're sending out. And I just have to say, this is it for 2012. It gives me chills to say that, man. So I would just highly recommend putting your 2013 goals, plan in place, address your fears, figure out why you're overwhelmed, and get rid of that stuff. Get an assistant, take some stuff off your plate, and
here's the first thing you put on your 2013 calendar. Is every Tuesday you have a 12 o'clock noon Eastern Time appointment. That's every Tuesday. Make sure you tap into this every week to get the ideas and keep growing your business. Scotty, see you next year, brother. That's crazy. See you next year, everybody.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Be safe, Rebecca. Would love to have you on someday again, and look forward to it. And have a happy, safe, exciting, and rewarding 2013. Everybody, take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.